Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Hip Hop Alliance. Hip-hop's first official union. We fighting for rights. Workers' rights, labor rights. Y'all know what it is. Fair wages. Let's hit 'em. Who's really speaking for the artist? Everybody knows the music industry is heartless. Knowledge reigns supreme, not what an artist on a chart is. It's about fair wages and royalties. Let me start this, spark this. It's about cultural self-reliance, corporate defiance. We got this down to a science. It's called the Hip Hop Alliance. We take it back to stop the violence. For 30 years, I've been the culture's guidance. You can't deny this. I clean pupils when they open their eyelids. In a blink, I teach kids to think. That's what I did and do. Reaching and pulling out the culture inside of you with the truth inside of you. No one can lie to you. It's time to unify him, her, you, and I. Do your part to save the art. Don't be a stupid guy. Front, you can try, but it's your time you waste. And we're starting an alliance against corporate exploitation.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up?
What it do, everybody?
What's happening, everybody? Shout out, shout out. Much salute to the Hip Hop Alliance, changing things in the world today. You are now tuned in to channel Full Blast Radio. This is FCW, Full Blast Comics and Wrestling, and much more. You already know. And I am your host, Cookz 24, always Cookz 24. And y'all know who that is. Who's that?
It's your main man Spade from Spadeonomics Comics.
You know what I mean? Much love to everybody today, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man. First of all, I hope everybody out there is doing well today. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the screen, so you know what I'm saying. Whenever y'all feel like dropping in a thumbs up, what's up, shout out, leave a comment. You know it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. We always love to hear your opinions, your comments. Please join in on the conversation with us. We don't want you to just listen. We want you to talk too. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
For
Spade,
sure.
man. So, what's new with you, man? How you doing? How your week been?
Man, the week been up and down, but it's been good, trying to get work done and trying to get, work, as you can see back here, done. So yeah.
Same here, man. Uh, doing like we all doing, just trying to maintain. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. You know what I mean? Just respecting every second, not just every minute, but every second. So uh, thankful for just being here, being able to do what we do, have fun talking about some of these topics. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to talk with my brothers, man, and sisters, and you know, try to keep that positive thing going as long as we can, because there's always something going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But shout out to all the wrestling fans out there. You know what I mean? Shout out to all. Still, I got my Raw 316 on today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, you already know who on the back. It's like
All
all
right.
you gotta do is see
Yeah,
the side. You
yeah,
just see the
yeah.
side. You already know.
I do
So,
three we did the 316, so we represent two of the greatest right there, man. Two of the
so,
greatest.
so man. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into it, man. So, salute to all who's able to join, pop in and out. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
talk about certain little pieces and parts of the wrestling world because y'all know that it is a storm. Storylines are changing every day. It ain't like it used to be, but they always, now that it's an entertainment thing, you know what I mean? Uh, they try to give us something to look at, you know what I mean? And we always gonna critique and be the critics. You know, we some rough critics, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So shout out to Spadeonomics for some dope topics today that we're gonna break down into a little bit. And starting out with all the unified and undisputed titles affecting the biz. You know what I'm saying? What angle was you coming at when you came up with that?
So thinking about or looking at actually like everything that's been going along with WWE since WrestleMania with Roman winning both world titles. then the Usos winning both tag team titles. Then even in AEW with CM Punk having his injury and him being out, and they name an interim world champion in John Moxley, and then they have a title unification match, which that wasn't the first time this happened in AEW because Sammy Guevara and Cody did the TNT title like that. So it's like, all right, and it, granted it's a little bit different because you have an interim champion and your regular champion in AEW. But having, two different champions may or may not have two different shows, but just having two different champions, like how does that affect the business? Is it good? Is it bad? And reason I came up with that is like I was researching, I was watching one of Ric Flair's DVDs a couple of months back, and I remember in WCW they had the WCW World Title, which was the belt that Ron Simmons wore, and they had the What's Up Hardy Boys, and they had the NWA International World Title, as they call it, which is the big gold belt that we all know and love.
Right.
So Sting and Flair had a title unification match on that. Flair won to become the undisputed champion in that. And it was like, all right, that was significant because it was the representation of WCW breaking away from the NWA and becoming the WCW that we knew until the end. Okay. But like with WWE, when they brought back the belt and they unified it with Chris Jericho, when The Rock had it and everything, what Booker T had it and The Rock had it, and so forth and so on, everybody who had it, then they unified the two world titles. It's like, all right, we know that was signifying the death knell, well, officially the end of WCW because it was going to be no more recognized. And they had done title unification since then too with Cena and Orton, right? Brock Lesnar and Cena, and then like I said, now with Roman. So it's like, all right, is it good? Do y'all feel it's good or bad for it? Because I'm like, this is weird. Watching and reading things on the internet, USA Network, they want one world champion because Roman is mainly a SmackDown competitor. Right. Fox wanting to keep him on their show instead of going back and forth because, SmackDown is signed to Fox, an exclusive deal. So now it's like, all right, well, what are you doing? And I know a lot of people like, man, you take one of the belts off, or a champion needs to be here, a champion needs to be there. And I'm kind of like, I see both sides of it because, of what I watch and being there, I've seen both sides. I can understand where you want one champion on one show, the other champion on the other show. But at the same time, it's like, are you over and under and exposing your champion? Is he creating too much work by one person being on two different shows, having to go here one night and here the next night, or what?
So now for me, when it comes to the unified or the undisputed, you know what I'm saying? It's certain little rules that go with it. And sometimes they don't get abided by it. But it seems like, between Roman Reigns, how he done it, and Jericho, how he done it, it's almost like you forget what's in the middle because they kind of did it like, Jericho did it first in that period, and it was that period where everything was blowing up. And then, but the way Roman Reigns did it, he did it more dominantly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he has looked more like domination. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a good storyline. Like whether you are a fan or not, or whether he's not your favorite wrestler, or if you love to hate him, he doing his job. Like what I'm saying, you got to give him his props on it. I mean, much because he's had the belt for what? 2 years. I mean, he's been 2 years, damn near 3, close to 3. So, I believe it's kind of now as far as WWE goes, in a good way. I feel like it's affected in a good way because whether you know the game or not, in and out, you're always wondering, is he gonna lose it? Because anything from what I understand, being a watcher, avid watcher, anything can change. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Anything can change. You know what I'm saying? It could be the middle of the match and the whole script change. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you know, I can see other companies trying to take that light away. You know what I'm saying? Mention John Moxley, the little
Mm-hmm.
promo he did the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Like he trying to, they don't like that. They don't like that. Like damn near a whole show is going against this one man army right here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because like that match he had with Brock, SummerSlam, that was pretty entertaining,
Man, that was so dope.
and you was there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And, that was the thing about it, like having a unified championship in that aspect. You're looking at like, all right, man, he won or he's carrying the universal title for so long, and now he has the WWE championship, and it's like, yo, you looking to see like, hey, man, is this gonna be the night or whatever, or is he gonna continue his dominance? And that was the thing, like I said, about affecting the business, just like with like, for instance, like we were talking about with AEW, you have an
Mm-hmm.
interim champion till your world champion gets back. So what do you do when your world champion gets back from his sabbatical? You have the interim champion. Well, the only natural thing is you have a match to unify the title. Um, UFC has done it, so I'm sure Tony Khan has taken a page out of their playbook to do the same thing. I've seen many UFC interim champions and then the regular champion, and then they unify the championship. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't just drop the interim champion. You can't not realize this interim championship.
Right.
So it's like it's there. It's just for the interim. It's like, all right, well, if and then just say for instance somebody did that, they have the interim champion, and the champion comes back from the sabbatical, and they just take the title away. It's like now you have a legit gripe because I'm like, all right, I'm the one that I put this company on my back and carried it while this man or this person was out, and you're just gonna take it from me like that? Like, no, I should be the number, if not the number one guy, the number one contender for it.
Exactly.
So there's that. That's why I say, how does it not necessarily affect, but how does it affect the business?
Okay. Um. How much longer will Roman Reigns hold the title, in your opinion? Chat room as well. Anybody that follows, you know what I'm saying? If you do follow, you know what I mean? I know y'all know that Roman Reigns is still the undisputed champion and he's had it for a while. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So in your time period, when do you think his time will be up with the title?
Um, I I thought about this a lot when coming up with this question, and I would say personally, if I were booking, I would have him hold on to it for at least another year. And the reason being is because if you go, it's been over 30 years
Mm-hmm.
since a champion has held a title for longer than a year. Well, minus Rob Van Dam and the ECW TV title. But
Mm-hmm.
before as a world champion, it's been a long time since somebody's held a title for more than a year. And normally, I get it, attention spans are short and you want to move on to the next storyline, but and you don't want to they don't want to pigeonhole themselves into a position where it's like, oh man, we don't have any other challenge. So, and I've been hearing different things like, all right, he could drop it at WrestleMania if he faces Cody Rhodes, or you know, if Rock comes
Mm-hmm.
back and he could face The Rock for it or whatever. And I'm like, those two scenarios, the only people that, well, I don't know. So, but like I said, I would hold off on him for at least another year and
Okay.
build up a good, because he's getting pops, like face pops, even though he's technically a heel. But build up a good baby face for him to go against. And if the that babyface never comes, he's still the champion. The fans are gonna turn him babyface anyway. So then you build up a good heel to turn to take it off of. I mean, you can work either way.
So as far as the who and the when, you know, I've heard Rock, WrestleMania, but you know what I'm saying, the Rock a pretty busy dude right now. What's up, Sultan? Good to see you again, bro. Straight up, straight up. Shout out to Sultan. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
man.
and Sultan, you know what I'm saying, just to ask you a question. I don't know if you follow. I remember you saying you are more into the 80s, but for whatever you do follow, you know what I'm saying, you see the question, who will defeat Raymond and when do you think it could happen? When do you predict it could happen? You know what I'm saying? Like if you follow, you know what I mean? I just hope it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a squash because he's not a squashable type character.
No, not this
So,
or not ever. So,
hey, Spade, Franklin Watkins, that's Mr. Wayne from New South.
okay.
You see him right there, Mr.
Yeah,
Wayne.
what's going on,
What's
Franklin?
up, Mr. Wayne? Hey, that's
My
Mr. Wayne
man.
right there. Much love. Hey, Mr. Wayne, we do this every Friday, man. I'll make sure I send you a link. That's Mr. Wayne right there. I love, hey,
Yeah,
Mr. Wayne. Always in the front row in the corner. Him and Mama.
love that dude, man.
Mr. Wayne is A-OK with me. I love shout out one more time to Mr. Wayne. Mr. Wayne, who do you think gonna defeat Roman, man? And when you think it can happen, man? You know what I'm saying? We would love to know.
Hardy boy say
JJ,
I'm gonna defeat him. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, JJ?
JJ all day in the house. What up, JJ all day? Shout out to JJ all day photography. Y'all saying y'all check his page out. We're gonna have him up here too. You know what I'm saying? JJ do some great film work. If y'all don't see the commercial, we're gonna get to show y'all the commercial, Spades on retirement commercial. You know what I mean? Pay homage to Mark Blackman and them. You know what I mean? Shout out to JJ for real. Who do y'all think can defeat Roman? And when do y'all think it can happen? And I'm talking to y'all, the chat. We talking to y'all. We would love to know.
I
Mr.
would
Mr.
say it again, putting myself in a booking aspect.
Yeah,
I would build up Bobby Lashley to do.
Bobby Lashley.
And everybody people be like, wow. Well, number one, he had to relinquish the title, so he never lost it. So he has not gotten his rematch back for the title that he never lost.
Okay. Now, okay, Sultan said, okay, Mr. Wayne said he want Brock. He want Brock to do it. And then Sultan said he honestly he don't follow wrestling anymore. I only watch when it's WrestleMania. So Sultan, and shout out to JJ All you already know we always gonna show you love. So
For sure.
Sultan, so in a WrestleMania sense, who
That
would you
would be
like
the
to
biggest
see?
match right there.
That'd be the biggest match, Sultan. So who would you like to see Roman Reigns lose the belt to, the undisputed at a WrestleMania? Who would you like to see do it? And it gotta make sense. Who we would like to know.
But yeah, I would, like I said, I would do Bobby Lashley because I'm like,
Okay.
Roman has defeated Brock Lesnar pretty convincingly over the past few times.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the SummerSlam, the last man standing match, that was about like when you go back and watch it, and we, like you said, I was there live, but when you go back and watch it, it looked like you've seen car crashes that had less calamity and collateral damage than this match did, man. I mean, the announce tables were broken. People laid out. The ring picked up. Just guardrails, man. It was just carnage, you know.
It
And
was.
that was a damn good match. It truly was. So I'm like, man, you know what, Roman, he didn't just flat out run over Brock, that's for sure. He had to scrap and fight for that win. But it's like,
Sultan agree with you. He said Bobby Lashley. I would too, because I still feel like Bobby Lashley ain't got the shine that he's supposed to get yet. I just don't feel like he got it yet. He's shining, but he ain't shining like he's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Wayne said he also like to see McIntyre defeat Reigns too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, You know what I'm saying? I just hope that they don't water it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope they don't. You know what I mean? Like, if they gonna put them against them, then it needs to be a war. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, it don't need to be no, oh, here come the Usos and all this old bull. You know what I'm saying? It need to be like a war. You know what I mean? Because if they, if they, you know, backwash it up and stuff, then I'm pretty sure we're gonna see another rematch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're gonna make them fail, if you're gonna make them fail, make it a honorable fail. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like Brock Lesnar and what you call that SummerSlam. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people thought he was gonna get up. I thought he was gonna get up again. You know what I mean?
Oh man, he kept getting up at the end till they started piling all that stuff on, all that debris on him. So it was
Hell
like
in a
shoot, but
cell.
I'm like every time you thought Brock was down, he got up. So yeah, that's the type
Mm,
of matches that you're not gonna get them every time because I mean I get it, you're not gonna hit a home run every time up the bat, but
right.
that type of intensity and in a match and in a storyline is kind of what people are looking for.
True. True.
But JJ has said Bray Wyatt if they bring him back, and I'm like, if they did, I want to see him come back as the Fiend and do it. Don't get me wrong, I love Bray Wyatt. His character. It was just something about the Fiend, and I'm like, they screwed him up so bad. But yeah, I definitely could see that. Um, Mine, I know like a lot of the internet's pick is Cody Rhodes. I just don't see it right now. Cody don't really have that big time WWE main event feel just yet. Now
Right.
he did when in Ring of Honor and he did in AEW, but and he don't get me wrong, when he left WWE 6, 7 years ago, he did go out and make himself a star. He won the NWA title, he won the ROH World title, he won the IWGP United States Championship. So he did some great stuff. Did work
Mm-hmm.
in Impact Wrestling, but I'm like, I don't feel, and people might disagree. That's fine. I don't feel he is that caliber WWE main event star just yet. I'm not saying he won't never get there. Right now, I
Mm-hmm.
just don't feel that way.
Okay. And that's a good point. That's a great point because he did so much work over there,
Mm-hmm.
and he made his point. I mean, like he one of the cornerstones are over there. I mean, from how it looked, you know what I'm saying? From how it looked, that
Mm-hmm.
squad of them, he is part of that squad of them that got that to going. And
Right.
coming back over here, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you ain't gonna start at the very top. You might look like you is, but you ain't gonna start at the very top. You got close. You know what I'm saying? They gave you Seth Rollins. They gave you a
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania entrance. Like they introduced you very well. You know what I'm saying? But the injury, you know what I'm saying? Because if he hadn't got injured in that match, who knows where he would be at right now as far as within the storylines and the lineups and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe he might be where Drew McIntyre is right now if he hadn't got hurt.
Right.
Because you had to put somebody over there.
Yeah.
And it ain't really too many workhorses that you can put over there. You know what I'm saying? Sultan has a very great question. And Spade, I definitely want you to break that down. He said, "Will kayfabe ever come back, or you guys, or will you say it's all in the past now?"
It's all in the past. It's all in the past. I don't think it'll ever come back because of the advent of social media and the way that and of course Vince McMahon acknowledging or saying that wrestling is sports entertainment instead of a sport. It's sports entertainment, but it's still a sport. You're still competing. You're still putting your body on the line. But kayfabe, nah, man, I think that's through. That era is over with. Stuff is so unprotected now, it's so open up. So I don't see it coming back.
And thank you, Sultan, because that's a good way to segue into this right here. I'm asking everybody in the chat, say eye test, the eye test. When you
Mm-hmm.
turn the volume up and better storylines right now, WWE or AEW? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? What's your go on that?
I would have to pick WWE because it's more stuff that everybody's talking about now. AEW is, don't get me wrong, they're getting talked about too, but not necessarily the most positive way.
Mm-hmm.
You hear more of backstage fallout and stuff happening behind the curtain more than you do out in the ring. Uh, a lot of times when I've heard the complaints since AEW's been a thing is their storylines are kind of confusing and they don't really follow through. And I'm like, yeah, at first I could see that. Then I started seeing where they kind of started, gelling together, and you see more of a fluidity and continuity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, because of the way I work, I don't get to watch it as much. So I'm like, I'll be behind on storylines, but I still keep up through, YouTube
Yeah.
and other social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like with AEWs, they'll start and it's fresh and it's new, and then it's just like it seems like it just fizzles out. It's like, man, y'all had something going real good. Like, come on, man, ride the wave, keep it going. Keep it consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with WWE now, um, I feel have more compelling storylines because of the bloodline. To be honest, they're being the dominant faction. Who's going to knock them off? Then you have some really interesting heels like an Austin Theory when he's gonna cash in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
You have a guy like a Bobby Lashley who is trying to get back into the world title picture, but he's doing a great job carrying the United States title. So, and the Mysterios and the Judgment Day. So those are storylines that people can, even if they didn't start them at the point now, you can jump into it and still understand what's going on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. JJ asked, who's the guy that grabbed me out the crowd?
That was Dexter Loomis.
Dexter Loomis. Yeah.
That was Dexter Loomis. I'm like, man, this guy, he got that psychopathic serial killer look down, man. I'm like, his eyes are like this, and he's just,
He
and
got it locked in. He locked in
man,
with it. He locked in with it straight up. Uh Sultan says that AEW is more popular in the UK than WWE, and I can believe that
mm,
because they network. I feel like they network. I like how they network better. You know what I'm saying? One thing I
mm,
like about AEW is that you know you might see somebody from Impact, like Motor City Machine Guns. They made an
yeah,
appearance on AEW. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's straight from Impact right there.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
WWE ain't doing no straight from Impact. Then you got NWA. You know what I'm saying? Then you got it's another one. Is it in another one?
let's see, Impact, NWA, and of course Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor, so you
Ring of
got,
Honor.
Ring of Honor and AEW are just like that now. So
You
yeah,
know what I
man,
mean?
like that forbidden door that WWE doesn't do, AEW is killing it in that.
Serious Biz. What up, Serious Biz? Much love to Serious Biz, y'all.
Yes, sir, Series B.
Serious business. Business.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yo, so let me get back over here to this side. So
JJ said
as
he got the serial killer predator look. He looks like whatever they say he did it. So
yes.
he truly does, man. Like that dude, he trips me out. I'm like, first I'm kind of like, hey, who the hell is this dude? And then watching like asked one of my homeboys that, and he told me like Loomis used to wrestle. I forgot his name in Impact TNA and in Impact Wrestling. Sam Shaw, I believe it was. But I was like, oh, so that was that dude. Okay, so man, it's like he came with he kind of did the gimmick thing in TNA, but it wasn't as creepy, for lack of a better term, as it is in WWE now.
Oh, gotcha. I forgot TNA days.
Mm-hmm.
Shaw. All right. Sam Shaw. Okay. Because when he was Sam Shaw, he didn't have the
Didn't have the mustache, and his
mustache.
hair was it wasn't blonde. It was like the darker brown color.
Darker brown color. That's right. That
True
nose. I
lip,
remember
yeah.
that nose. All right. So now we finna get into chat room. I'm gonna need y'all here because I can tell, you know what I'm saying, we got some fans. Sultan, especially you. This right here, I think you'll like. Me and Spade talked about this the other night, and you know what I'm saying, we wanted to do a top five, but I was like, let's shorten it up a little bit because we want to keep a steady, cool time while we're on. So today's chat room question: who are your top three intercontinental champions? It don't have to be of all time. Who are the ones that always made y'all stop and watch the match? Who are the ones that made y'all rent the video rentals to see the match? You know what I'm saying? Who is your top three? You know what I'm saying? And we would love to see in the chat. You know what I mean? Throw your top three up. Who y'all like? And it don't matter what era. It don't matter how many days they held it. It don't matter. I just want to know. We just would like to know who, because maybe y'all can enlighten us on something. You know what I'm saying?
Your personal favorite intercontinental champ.
Yes, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna start this off with a couple honorable mentions. With me being born in 1980 and getting with my granddad and my uncle started me to watch wrestling around 85, 86, 87. So I was about five, turning six, six turning seven. I can remember seeing some of these wrestlers and automatically having my ones that I like and ones I didn't like. Basically, the heels and the face, the good guys, the bad guys. So, and I know some of y'all will know who some of these people are. So I'm gonna start with Tito Santana. Some stuff that I didn't know about him. First Mexican American Intercontinental Champ, February 11th, 1984. He also won the first ever WrestleMania match. He beat the Executioner. You know what I'm saying? You got any memories about Tito Santana?
Most of my memories of Tito Santana are him and Rick Martel as Strike Force, the tag team. And I remember El Matador, when he came back as El Matador. But Tito, he was always a solid worker, real good, real over with the crowd. Um, Definitely a solid mid card. I feel like he didn't get his just due in main events, but where he was on the card was good because people tuned in to a Tito Santana match.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And check out some of them comments too, Spade, while I go through this next one. You'll probably see some cool answers in there. The Honky Tonk Man. Everybody,
Yeah.
a lot of people remember the Honky Tonk Man. Uh, beat Steamboat for the belt. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Which is something I forgot. But he got his ways of in the ring. With Jimmy Hart being his manager at the time. Wasn't that right?
Yeah,
So,
the Mouth of the
uh,
South, because Mouth of the South go cheap.
you know what I'm saying? And he held it. He held it for 454 days. You know what I'm saying? Until my boy SummerSlam '88 took it. We already know who that is. Paint on the face, paint on the face, the ultimate boy. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I
I
can't say about Honky Tonk Man is one thing I can't say about Honky Tonk Man is he held it the longest. He was good at his character. His ring work is what made him so hated, but he was good at it. So you know what I'm saying. So you got to give a man his props, even though he is one of the most hated. You know what I'm saying. Even though. And that last honorable mention I want to give is to Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
He held the title on two separate occasions for 406 days. Super technician and the master of the perfect plex. You know what I'm saying? He was great. He was great. He was a great performer, a great actor, and a great showman. You know what I'm saying? Great showmanship. So straight up, gotta give a shout out to Kurt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? What's your thoughts on some of those honorable mentions, man?
Man, definitely shoot. Hall of Famers. You know, especially one of my favorites is Mr.
Hmm.
Perfect. He was when you gave me this list, you know, I named the top five, and he was in my top five.
Yes.
So Mr. Perfect, I was like, man, you know, one thing I hated besides him being perfect, you know, the attitude, the swag, and everything. But I'm like, that man was so good in the ring. And looking back now, he was one of the guys, like, you know, in the '80s, I couldn't stand. Uh, you know, because you know you had good guys and bad guys then, so you cheered the good, you booed the bad. That's just how wrestling was presented in the '80s. And I couldn't stand Mr. Perfect, but knowing what I know now, I was like,
Man.
yo, man, he is definitely one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
And the other thing I was gonna say I hated about him is that he never got to be the WWF World Champion. He was
Right.
AWA World Champion, but he never got to be the WWF World Champion, and he didn't get. I don't think he was pushed, promoted, or presented right in WCW either. It was like he should have been more of a star
More of a
there
star.
than what he was. You know, the decoy for the Four Horsemen and just a member of the NWO, and it was like that was it.
That was it.
But
Uh
but him carrying the
also,
IC title, like man, you know, he made that was, like you said, the workhorse title. He
yeah.
made this title mean something.
Yeah, he did. He did. Uh Sultan said that the match between Perfect and Bret Hart at SummerSlam. So that right there, add that on to what you talking about. That definitely was a great match. Super
Something know what I'm
technical.
talking about.
Yeah, he know what he talking about. Shout out to Sultan. That was a super technical match right there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hey, and I understand that though. I understand that though. I understand that though. Especially when he come out, when he used to come out like the Matador. I
Yeah.
understand that. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Tito Santana, for me, he was that dude that I always wish could win more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because his matches, he'll be like right there about to win, and then just something will happen, and it's like it's over with. And it seemed like it always happened like that for him. But he always came back though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he also he made a good teammate too. You know, he was on a couple of Survivor
Tag team,
Series
yeah.
teams.
Our tag team, like you said, him and Rick Martel as a Strike Force, you know, for
Mm-hmm.
WWE Tag Team Champion.
Hardy Boy got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Steamboat will always. Hey, Hardy Boy, we got to see him at the last Comic Con we went
Yeah.
to, and I would remember Spade. I told you I was sitting by the elevator. Remember, I was looking for a charger, and he walked up to the elevator. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Right there next to me. And then he didn't really say nothing. You know, he looked and waved and he was trying to get to where he was going. But Teddy Long was like, all right, player, keep your
Yep.
nose clean. Keep your nose clean, player.
Or what was you gonna do if you didn't?
Uh 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 um Put you
And
in the
don't
match
tell
with the Undertaker.
yeah, you
Huh?
gonna go one on one with the
You gonna go
Undertaker,
one on one
player.
with the Undertaker. Oh, Jake the Snake Roberts always a favorite of mine, and I'm glad he cleaned his life up too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm glad he cleaned his life up. JJ all day got the Shawn Michaels and the Razor Ramon, which is always a cornerstone in history with the ladder match that changed everything and started a whole lot of shit.
Now, have you named your top three already?
I'm getting to it. Well, I only, to be honest with you, I really only got two because I couldn't think of the third one. It's kind of hard. So top five would have been even harder.
Go ahead and give me your top two because I want to piggyback on what JJ said when I get to mine.
Okay, hold on. Let me get
'Cause
back
I'm
to
like,
it. So, of course, you already know what I already told you what I was gonna start with. My boy, the Ultimate Warrior. You know what I mean? Beat Honky Tonk in 13 seconds. Okay,
oh boy.
was being put over by Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Had to do right. Then he beat Hogan at Mania as the Intercontinental Champ. He held both belts up in the air, the white belt and the big belt. You know what I'm saying? That felt good to me, man. You know what I mean? On those two occasions, he put all them days together. He held it for 432 days. And you know what I'm saying? He had another reason why he's one of my favorite top is because you know he had a lot of matches. He was like Goldberg before Goldberg, just more
Mhm.
energy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, you know, damn near unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? Like and just the colors and the energy and the you know you know what I'm saying, talking to the voices in the sky, you know what I'm saying? He had some cool shirts, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was Ultimate Warrior was my boy, man. He looked different to me. And my second one would be the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because of I like the resilience, you know what I mean? The attitude, the look, the voice. He had Elizabeth, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He had the dope glasses, you know what I'm saying? But what I didn't realize is he only had one reign, you know what I mean? He
Uh-huh.
beat Santana in '86, you know what I'm saying? But he defended it at WrestleMania 2 against George Animal Steel. And he
Mm-hmm.
lost to Steamboat WrestleMania 3, which that was a
Yep.
great match too. I remember that match. And he held it for a total of 414 days. So uh, that's something that I forgot about with the Macho Man. You know what I mean? So gotta definitely give him his props for that. You know, his matches were always exciting. He didn't keep you bored. You know what I'm saying? You thought it was over with, then he'll come back, you know what I mean, at the end. And he had the great and he had one of the dopest theme songs to come out to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Pomp and
saying?
circumstance.
You know what I mean? So what about you? That's just two. It's hard for me to think of a third one, but what about you?
My top three are in no particular order: Chris Jericho, The Miz, and Razor Ramon. And the reason being for them is like Jericho being a nine-time WWE IC champion. He also won the IWGP IC title, so that makes him a 10-time
Yeah.
Intercontinental champion. Like nobody else has done that.
You know
Jericho,
what?
when you needed a good mid Carter at the time, when he first started winning the IC title, he was that, and he carried it very well. Had some great matches with guys against like a Chris Benoit, Edge, Kurt Angle, you know, guys who were on that cusp of getting ready, and it really showed the IC title being the workhorse title because it catapulted a lot of people to that world title status. Um, and Jericho was also a guy that, you know, even after he won the world title, he could go back to the IC title and it still mean the same thing. It didn't feel like it was a demotion or a step down. It was just like, yo, this is what we needed right now. This is what he needed right now. He's gonna get back to that world title status. And as you've seen, he did that. The Miz for me, I enjoyed his stint as the WWE champion when he had it, and I was kind of pissed when he lost to Cena after WrestleMania, the pay per view after. But him being the Intercontinental Champion, oh man, he did some fantastic. He had some great matches and great runs with it. One of them
Hmm.
he even beat Roman for. And so
Oh,
it was on a Monday Night Raw, and I
okay.
remember that, and I was like, "Yo, you know," I'm like, he actually defeated Roman for the IC title, and it was a great match. It was such a
Hmm.
good match. It main evented Raw, so it was like, hey. So that's one thing with the IC title is that you can have this championship that will main event your Raws and your SmackDown, and it doesn't mean any less than the world title. Bobby Lashley
Right.
was another. He's a two-time IC champ. So it's just like, you know, there is prestige with this belt. Cody Rhodes, former Intercontinental champ. And my last one, Razor Ramon, because Scott Hall, man, you don't get much cooler than the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? The first
Yeah.
four-time Intercontinental champion. And like you talked about, the match at WrestleMania 10 with him and HBK, the ladder match, that stands the test of time to this day. And a lot
Yes.
of people forget that later on, I want to say the same year, or it might have been a year after, but they had a rematch at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title that Shawn won that time. And it was but it was dope. But Razor had some great matches against HBK, Jeff Jarrett, Diesel, and it's like a couple of them. I had it at the top of my head because I wrote them down by misplaced paper.
Also, let me add into that. Um, like you said, he held the IC title 4 times, a total of 438 days, which will make him fifth all time. You know what I'm saying? One of the best light characters, like you said, the best ladder match. Uh, formed the Click, NWO, the Outsiders, and was a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, it 1 time or 2 time Hall of Famer.
2 times because he went in by
2 time Hall of
himself.
Famer.
He went in with the NWO.
Okay, 2 time Hall of Famer. So you got to give him his props. And also, I wanted to add in with Jericho, like you said, 9 time winner. He got the most wins. Uh, beat Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. First
Mm-hmm.
undisputed. Uh, I found some little notes that on his 4th title reign, he to win the 4th title, he beat Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
On his 7th title reign, getting to it, uh, he beat Christian in a ladder match in 2004. But when he won that match, what a lot of people didn't know was that he either tied or beat Jeff Jarrett's record for the most title reigns that night. And and even though like most other folks, 400 days plus, he held it for 318. But look how many times he held it, and look at the exciting matches. Look at some of
Yeah.
the A+ matches that he had: 5-star, 4.5-star, 4.9, whatever matches he
Mm-hmm.
had to, what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So he had a great run. He had a great run. You know what I'm saying? So. Uh, and everybody in the chat, definitely. And I want to throw this out, because I remember I told you last night the actual longest holder was Pedro Morales,
Mm-hmm.
even though he's more of a early 70s, late 80s wrestler, right?
Yeah, 70s and 80s.
You know what I'm saying? So everything kind of changed corporately when Honky Tonk Man started his run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
If I'm not mistaken, Honky Tonk had the longest duration from the time he won it to the time he lost, and I think Pedro had the longest in I guess overall days he held it.
619 days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So want to just throw that out there for the historians, and if I'm wrong, please correct me because I always want to know my info. You know what I mean? So now we're gonna get into something that Spade created. I thought it was super dope. Everybody knows about fantasy sports, fantasy things. You know what I'm saying? Sultan, I know you're gonna love this too. Mr. Wayne, I know you'll love it if you're still here. We got the FCW Spadeonomics Fantasy Matchups introduction. So Spade is going to fill us in on what is this fantasy matchup creation that he done created, and he gonna fill us in. So go ahead, tell us what this is about, Big Spade.
You from time to time, and any wrestling fans that would know this, you would wonder who from either one federation that hadn't faced somebody else in another federation who would win between the two, or from different eras. Say like you had Hogan versus Cena, or you had Macho Man versus Cody Rhodes or somebody like that. Andre the
Mhm.
Giant versus the Big Show. So what I thought about is starting next week, probably the first Friday in each month, we're going to do fantasy warfare. We're going to pick 4.
Oh, I'm
We're going to
sorry.
pick 4 different matches or matchups, and we want to know who you think will win and why. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be, like I said, the first Friday in each month. And y'all join in, man. Give us some feedback too as to, pick somebody. Man, it might be somebody from the A. You might be like, the Four Horsemen versus Evolution, or Batista versus Georgia Animal Steel, or somebody like that. So, you know, starting next week, we're gonna get our first four in, and we're gonna talk about that, seeing like who will win, who you think will win this, and the reasons why. But yep, fantasy matchups, and like I said, just reach out, man. It can be somebody like somebody now like Moose versus Roman Reigns. Moose is in Impact, Roman's in WWE. Who you think will win between that? And again, from different eras. Ric Flair from 1980 versus, somebody from now. Randy Orton versus Jake the Snake Roberts or something like that. So yeah, man, that's what this is gonna be all about, and it's just all fun, and we just want to see what we come up with.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can do some type of voting process. You know what I'm saying? And get some type of maybe we can see somebody. Maybe we can get enough of us to vote, and get us our own created championship match through all these. You know what I'm saying? But we want to definitely start it out like that. You know what I'm saying? Look like we got a guest, Spade. Look like we got a guest. You know who it is. Know who it is.
Yo!
It's the OG Green.
Man, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to OG Green Lantern.
I got my ball head showing.
So, yo, Spade, one more time, man. Drop the because I don't know if OG got to hear that, but I definitely know OG got some can cook up some dope matchups for next week. Getting started next week, week 1 of the Spadeonomics FCW fantasy matchup. You know what I mean?
What I was saying is like I was sitting there thinking this past week on fantasy matchup. Like guys who maybe from different eras or different federations that we think like, yo, man, who would win in this match? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, one of the examples was like a Batista versus Georgia Animal Steel, and those Spencer got a kick out of that. Or you take like Moose from Impact versus Roman. Now, like who will win that? And you like I said, it may just be from anybody, man. The Four Horsemen versus Evolution, Four Horsemen versus NWO, whatever, So that's gonna be something that we gonna start next week.
Like straight out dream matches.
Yeah.
Dream fantasy, where hey, yeah, man, just the things that we might have wanted to see happen, or you thought about, yo, man, what would this wrestler be like if he wrestled this wrestler? So yeah, that definitely would be something that we want to start and talk about.
What do you think would be the ultimate tag team match then? Not no 3-way forward, just straight up 2 tag teams, straight up match, no ladder match, none of that. You know what I mean? Just an old school straight up smash them like.
We can do this right now. We can do this right now. We can do this right now. Yeah, we can do this right now. Okay. So who would walk out behind the curtain first? For some reason, I love the Steiner brothers. I'm a Steiner brother fanatic. But the long hair Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Frankenstein or Scott Steiner, you know what I'm saying? And the Bulldog Rick, the dog face gremlin, him, them, and like Prime Steiner brothers versus Prime Road Warriors would be a definitely top. What's this? That's a definitely top 2 for me. You know what I mean? What about Spades?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give you one that's on my list right now. The Steiner brothers versus the Dudley Boys. That's one of my fantasy matches that I wrote down. I was like, Yo, I would love that. I would love.
Now here go a crucial part. ECW Dudleys or TLC Dudleys WWE.
I mean, it really ain't much different other than
Just at their peak, right? Just
because I feel like the Dudleys, what they did in ECW, they toned it down a little bit in WWF. Don't get me wrong, but they were still just as hardcore. So I think that with that, who would be more Smash Mouth? I would say I would have to go with the Dudleys on this. Because the Steiners being strength and power, but not as hardcore as the Dudleys were. And I'm like, both of them got technique. Both teams got technique. Both teams are powerful as hell. But man, it would just be something I think that it straight up the Smash Mouth match. And you ain't got to be no disqualification. The straight up Smash Mouth match. I think it doesn't take that. So that's what I'm talking about, man. Like that right there. Yeah.
Steiner Brothers versus Nasty Boys. He said that match was sick.
the Nasty Boys.
Yeah, the Nasty Boys was something. The Nasty Boys was something. I had to think for a second. Now, you know what? I would love to see, now this might sound crazy, but Nasty Boys versus Demolition would have made an entertaining match too.
Yeah.
OG Demolition? Action Smash?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I think that would have been a great match too, Cookz.
Yes. Now, what about you, OG?
It would be the Road Warriors, right? Straight out. And it would either be, again, see, this is hard, man. Because it has to do with Ron Simmons. Like, and I would either say Road Warriors against Doom, because I love Butch Reed, or Road Warriors against APA.
Ooh.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But just slugfest, man. Like, nothing fancy in that match, bro. Just, you know what I mean?
I think I go with I like APA. I like APA. Now Doom ain't playing, but I don't think I got to see a lot of Doom. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't think I got to because when I really got known to Ron Simmons, he was already in NWA. Yeah, he was wearing the blue tights, right? Blue tights, white boots. I think that's right. Curly hair. You know what I'm saying? That's when I really, really got to watching because I can remember my uncle, you know what I'm saying, always talking about Ron Simmons, black champion. I can remember he always used to say it because that made him happy because that really wasn't now. You know what I mean? Right. So, and you know what I mean, back in them days, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, OG, APA. APA.
Ooh, that's
so,
a big matchup, OG.
So that was just a little bit of that was a little taste, y'all, of what we're gonna get started with next week. So I want everybody's watching, make sure that you tune in next week, same time, same place, and have your matchup ready. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna
it can be a wrestler or wrestlers that are no longer with us, correct?
Right.
Like anything goes.
Promotion, even
just something that would be a crazy matchup.
Right. Even if somebody watches New Japan, and even though we might not all watch it, but if you watch New Japan wrestling, if you watch Lucha Libre or AAA from Mexico, hey, put it in there. It's not limited to just WWF, NWA, WCW, AWA, any, man. Like, put it in there. I'm just going off of what came off the top of my dome. But, like I said, it's such a broad topic. We're not going,
and it's more fun, and it's a whole lot more fun when the people, like all our friends right here that's watching, when y'all participate. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to see your matchups and who you think will win out of your matchup and why. So fill it up over there. We want to know. You know what I'm saying?
You are the booker.
Y'all are the bookers. You know what I'm saying? Wow. We're gonna be like, wow, I ain't never thought of that match. I want one of y'all to give me something like I never thought of that. Man, ain't never be a good match. You know what I'm saying? And Hardy Boy, shout out to the Von Ericks. You got that right. Von Ericks is
Yeah.
Oh heck
definitely
yeah, heck yeah.
Von Ericks is definitely a Hardy Boy know his stuff too. Coming out of
Yeah.
Minnesota. He know his stuff too. Alright, so you know what I'm saying? OG, I'm glad you dropped in when you did, because now we finna jump into the comic segment part where we got a few little topics where we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, talk about. And one major one that's going on right now is the appeal of Black Adam versus Superman in the movie scene. It seems like they trying to rush it. But that's just a crust of what I think. Spade came up with this topic. So Spade, I would like for you to start with this and give us a basis of what here we hanging on here.
For anybody that don't know, Black Adam, you know, of course we all know that The Rock is playing Black Adam movies coming out in about a month and a half. But the thing about it is Rock has been campaigning so much to have, you know, face off against Superman. I get it, you know, but at the same time, Black Adam is one of Shazam's main villains, not Superman. So my question was, what is the appeal of having a Black Adam versus Superman? Because I know Rock made a tweet about it saying Black Adam has the same powers as Superman, and that is not true.
No.
He has the same powers as Shazam. He might be on the same strength level as Superman. They both are, but same powers. And I'm like, as much as Superman fan as I am, and y'all see the cake right there, but if you want to put where the cake is hanging up in Spade's keep room. But my question is, like, you know, why campaign so hard to have Superman versus Black Adam when Shazam is his main nemesis, and he is Shazam's main nemesis. And knowing that, like I said, being a big Superman fan as I am, Superman could be beat by either one of them because they're magic based.
Yep.
Oh.
I
Go ahead,
I understand why, bro. Like, and I understand why the Rock would campaign that. Like, I don't agree with it as a comic fan, because the same thing, everything you just said, Spade. You know what I mean? Because that's a Shazam villain and the whole magic thing. You know what I'm saying? But I understand as far as where the Rock is coming from. Like, I guess in his mind, right? And you know, I'm not saying he doesn't read. I'm sure he reads comics. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I'm sure he does. I'm not knocking the Rock or anything, but in his mind, as far as business wise, when you think, you know, I mean, it wouldn't be Batman. It's smash on Batman. Batman's a human, you know, whatever. I guess his reasoning is because Superman is the top dog.
Okay.
You feel me? As far as name wise, Superman, and especially I mean, with the rumors are never going to stop about Henry Cavill until someone else either puts the suit on or he puts it back on.
Right.
You know? And I mean, when there's that glimmer of hope, Henry Cavill versus The Rock, wow, that would be epic. Who wouldn't want to see that? Even me, I would like, oh man, that would be dope, because I love both people, you know what I mean? But and I get it, like him pitching that, hoping it catches the ear on, you know, obviously at the fans and for us to push it or whatever, and then catches the ear of the top brass and like, Superman, huh? Yeah, Superman. The Rock, he can play any character. Or Dwayne Johnson, his name is connected to something. It's automatically people are gonna want to see it. You know, I mean, he's just a draw. He's that guy.
Yeah,
true.
You know, and you put him with another top name being Superman, like, what? Hey, you know, and I get that. Like, I don't understand though why he wouldn't want to push, like, hey man, so I'm in the next Shazam, right? Like, me and him are gonna square off, right? You know, because for the comics fans, that's like that'd be a dream, dude. You know, I want to see that movie. I want to see Black Adam Shazam. That's what I want to see, man. Like, God, like, but like I said, like, I understand him doing that, bro. I don't see, and I can't say whether or not I condone it, like, because I'm not him. It's not my career. It's not my money. You know what I mean, bro? Like, business wise, but as a comic fan, like, it's kind of hokey, you know.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, OG, and because that was some excellent points that you brought about, and especially from the business point, because the Rock business manager, business partner is his ex-wife, Danny, and she is also Henry Cavill's manager. So do you think, in your opinion, do you think that's a big factor for wanting to push having Superman and Black Adam on screen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. From a business vantage point and from that connection.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I had read an article late last night where you know, The Rock been promoting the movie so much, and some of the fans and critics are starting to feel downward because they feel like, okay, we getting all this promotion, and we probably ain't we're probably not gonna get what he's saying we're gonna get. So, you know, on some tweets that he put out, and there's a tweet he put out where he got this hoodie on, look like he working out, and on the back of it, I think it's got like something that Black Adam be saying, like one of his sayings, and people took that, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, all right, man, we done had enough. Now you keep on saying it's gonna be this good, but you know, also they threw in that because it's The Rock, he actually was supposed to be in Shazam's movie, from what I understand. But The Rock personally does not want to play a side character to Shazam. He wants to play, so he put in the request to do Black Adam's origin story. So instead of us first seeing The Rock in something that happened in Shazam, which is probably more comic book accurate, he wants us to see the origin and why Black Adam is an anti-hero. You know what I'm saying?
He's a bad guy, bro. He's a fucking villain.
Right. See what I'm saying?
He's not an anti-hero.
So I'm saying, and the way they explained it in this article I read was that he fought justice. It's just that he fought justice his way. So if he got to destroy stuff to make somebody stop doing something, he just gonna destroy it. Ain't no sorrow. As long as he get to, you know, that's kind of how this article explained it. But they was more talking about the Rock's Black Adam, and not DC Comics Black Adam. See what I'm saying? So I'll send y'all the link to that and let y'all check it out. And y'all just let me know what y'all think in the backfield. You know what I mean?
I've actually read that article.
Okay.
And so I do know what you're talking about. And like, he was campaigning so hard to not have Black Adam in Shazam's movie because he felt like, why tell two origin stories in one movie? And so some people took it as like, oh man, well, he just wants all the spotlight to himself. Yeah, you can look at it that way. You can also look at it like, all right, he might not want to over convolute the movie, you know? And I mean, it's like, all right, well, but I agree with OG said, Black Adam is a villain. Like, what now in the comics, he's more of an anti-hero, but traditionally, he is a villain. He is Shazam. It's like Superman has Bizarro. It's the opposite of Superman. Black Adam is basically the opposite of Shazam.
That's his yang, yin and yang.
So,
hey, that's something I've been wanting to ask both of you as well. How do you guys feel about when a character is created, right? Whether it be Black Adam, Joker, whoever, fucking Green Goblin. And, you know, and they're specific. That's Spidey's fucking enemy. That's fucking, you know, that's that Batman's enemy. That's Shazam's enemy, you know. But then over the course of time, to me, it seems like they took a lot of, I'll say most of the popular villains, and it seems like now they're all anti-heroes now, man. And like, how do you guys feel about that? About them instead of them just staying in the villain role, about them suddenly be like how Black Adam is now an anti-hero. that Harley Quinn is anti. You know what I mean? Like they did that with quite a few people. Doctor Doom kind of skates the line. You know what I mean? Like
Okay, that's perfect. This right here, that's perfect because that segue right into this.
Mhm.
That right, you pretty much asked us the same thing almost we had wrote down. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you stayed you was talking about DC characters. It's something that I thought about too, but I didn't think about it until Spade brought this up, and then you bringing it up the way that you did. So you kind of asked it a whole totally different way. So, man, that's a thinker right there. Chat room, what do y'all think?
I'm gonna go ahead and answer OG's question outright. I don't like it because you're trying to. It's to me, and we talked about this on different podcasts before. You making the villain sympathetic. You know, you make him more of an anti-hero where it's like, all right, now I want to root for him. No, because I'm like, I'm not going to root for the Joker because he kills people. I'm not going to root for Lex Luthor because he makes people's lives miserable. He's greedy, you know. And then like the perfect example for me is Deathstroke. You made Deathstroke such an anti-hero, and I'm like, he was a villain, but now he's more of a mercenary for hire, you know. And like, all right, well, I'm going to, as long as we're using a wrestling ref, like the APA, well, whoever pays me the most, that's who I'm gonna go with. That's who I'm gonna side with. So you're not necessarily cheering or booing them, but it's like, you know, now you kind of want to root for them. It's like, man, I want to see Deathstroke tear into people. I want to see the villain part. I want to see him, you know, being cold-blooded and ripping people's parts out and stuff. I don't want to see the anti-hero that's like, all right, well, I'm going to do this because so-and-so, or, you know, I'm kind of want to fight the good fight because of whatever reason. Like, nah, man, you know, I get it. People can start, you know, turn over a new leaf. But if they're going to be the villain like that, keep them the villain like that. But what you think, Cook, on and you can even answer the question that we got here too.
They both kind of the same to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like him asking that the way he did made me think of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like right on time. Just as long as it makes sense. I mean, you know, DC has good animation, but the characters sometimes are bland. And you know what I'm saying, OG man is like, you know, if they're gonna change it, at least make it make sense or make it, you know, more entertainable to watch. Don't make something where it's like, oh, okay, I knew that was gonna happen. Dang, I should have known that was gonna happen. Like, dang, like I hate dang moments. You know what I'm saying? I like wow, like oh wow. You know what I'm saying? Y'all OG know, y'all know. I text y'all, I send y'all something quick. Hey man, did y'all see that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Spade? Be like, I don't watch that no more. But yeah, man.
Trip out, okay. And I'm not talking about the rare instances where Hal Jordan became Parallax and all that. I'm not talking about instances like that where a hero snapped and it's crazy story arc and then they bring him back. Okay, how come no heroes ever go anti and stay anti? Why not? And I'm not talking about Batman and Punisher because they're basically bad guys, borderline bad guys.
Yeah.
But because they're vigilante, they do stuff for the right reasons. Just the way they go, you know, whatever. That's a whole different topic. But how come, like example, how come Superman doesn't turn into a vigilante and stay a vigilante? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why don't they Deathstroke him but in reverse, or Cap or Spidey, and not just Dr. Ock gets in Spider-Man's body and all that, and then I mean, have Peter Parker turn into an anti-hero and stay an anti-hero. They'll never do that, and I don't understand why. It's always the bad guys that are popular that become anti-hero. And I get it; they're widening their audience for that character or whatever. But there's certain like I'll be straight up like, okay, Harley Quinn. My Harley Quinn wears the red and black cat suit and that's Joker's ride or die maniac. Bottom line, that to me, okay, that's my favorite version or incantation of Harley Quinn. Okay, not her running around with the bat symbol, trying to join Batman, telling him that she's his Robin. You know what I mean? And that's injustice, but still, like it's stuff like that carries over into continuity where she's an anti now. She's not even a bad guy anymore. Like, and it's weird to me, and I get it because she's a popular ass character. She's popular as hell, man. But I just don't get it, man. Like, why can't she just still be a bad guy? You know, like, and I'm just using her as the example. You know,
that's a good example.
Like Spade bringing up Deathstroke, like that, like perfect example, man. Him now, like you said, like a good guy could pay him, and he'll be a good guy in that story. He's working. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's not really the Deathstroke I want either, bro. Like, you know, I want him fighting against heroes, and you know, like, I want him like on the run for murder or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Now,
murder.
and Spade, with this separate question, because I know I changed it up just to reword it different, but to change DC Comics more like how Marvel did to actually make what again? Explain that again. Explain that how you originally.
To kind of clarify the original question, and OG and everybody in the chat was, should DC imitate Marvel and make their characters resemble, make the comic book characters resemble more of the movie characters? And reason being is like, you take Guardians of the Galaxy for instance, OG. You see how they looked in the movies, where Marvel made them look the same way in the comic book. So
I get what you mean, bro.
So that was my original question.
Because I had been like, up until Mike Shock went through, I read Punisher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of a few years, pre-Netflix and then into the Netflix shows, I watched Punisher, the way they draw him, change to start looking like John Bernthal. You know what I mean? Because the show was such a hit, and it's such a gradual way. They just slowly change how the characters look, you know, and like there's Iron Man books where you open it and you're like, that's Robert Downey Jr., man.
Yeah.
Like that's Robert Downey Jr. They drew him now. Like,
yeah.
And it's gradual. It's gradual, but it happens. I mean, if they did that for DC to do that, like, see, like, as much as I love Henry Cavill, bro, like, I'm used to comic book Superman, like, okay. But I mean, if they made him into Henry Cavill, I wouldn't be all pissed and hating on it. I'd be like, oh, dope, Henry Cavill, you know, like, oh, it's Henry Cavill. But I'm used to, you know what I mean, Spade? Like,
yeah, I get
you.
Comic Superman. Yeah. It's like, that's a hard one. Like, I don't know who the hell they would draw for Bruce Wayne. He would be like some Clayface amalgamation of different actors. Like,
oh man, that's pretty good, OG. That's pretty good. So yeah, that was like I said, mostly my question on that, man. That, should DC kind of do that, but I have not seen that.
I ain't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet, Sultan. But thank you for telling us. We're gonna check. We sure gonna check it out, though.
Yeah.
Is it live action? Can you tell us that much? If it's live action, and if it is, who plays Punisher?
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know that, Sultan. While we get into
and that was funny, because he's the one that also made that comment about Cookz, and I thought that was fun.
Yeah, Chef and Brim. What up, Chef and Brim? I see you.
Chef and Brim.
Chef and Brim's in the house. You know what I'm saying? Hat fam, feed the community, feed the mafia. You know what I'm saying? Feed the mafia. Okay, OG. This right here, we one more way. But my movie TV storyline theory. And and really it's something that kind of just clicked in my head. Thank you, Shepherd Brims. Thank you, Shepherd Brims, for real. Joining Full Blast Radio. Thank you, man. You're gonna enjoy it. I promise you, you're gonna enjoy it. Plus we gotta get you on here too. So I was watching She-Hulk, OG, and
Oh my God! Why? Oh
I know, I
no!
know, I know, I know, I know, I know. So
Just had to please that part of the fan base.
so one of my one of my partners at work, my little partner, he's 17. You know what I'm saying? We worked together in the pit back there. And we was talking about She-Hulk, and he was like, "Yo, man," he said something that I don't understand. I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "Man, well," he said, when you're watching the movie, the last thing you know about Hulk is that his arm is hurt and it's up like that." I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "But when you see the preview," he said, he throws the rock, and I'm like, "Dang, like when did his arm get better?" And he was like, "Then you see her throw the rock, and it's like, what is she supposed to be stronger here? Is something wrong with his arm?" I'm like, I'm looking at him, like I'm thinking, I'm like, "Dang, man, like." He asked him some good stuff, but I can tell that he ain't watching and seeing what he needs to see, but he watched. So I told myself, well, maybe they'll probably explain it once the show starts. And then he said, "Yeah, I understand that," but he's like, "But like when you read the comics, it's like this and like this." I'm like, I understand. They just don't follow. They do their own storyline. So then I went and I watched She-Hulk, and I see you something that but some of the words that you use sometimes they won't let you put the comment in. So because they be watching the stream. So if anybody got like words that's like got something to do with content that we don't really talk about, try to hide it or reword it so it'll let you, and I won't have to review it and blah blah blah. But I see you something. I understand your pain. I understand your pain. Yeah, we talking She-Hulk, Chef, and basically what I'm getting at is when I was watching She-Hulk, within the first 5 or 10 minutes, it kind of explains. Oh, y'all good, Sultan? Ain't no big thing. Just got, we don't, how the boob tube is, like Full Blast be saying. They explain what happened. He explained what happens and blah blah this and blah blah that. Then he talk about Tony and he just saying stuff that kind of like, oh, okay, so you still keeping it where Infinity War was way over here and this is way over here. You know what I'm saying? He talked about being in a spaceship. So I'm like, okay, you kind of touched that little piece of World War Hulk and blase. You know what I'm saying? You ain't say much, but he just said enough to where your mind will be like, So then as the show go on, other little stuff is unveiled and revealed and blase blah. And it's like, okay, something just hit in my head. Like, if you go all the way back to Iron Man 1 and you put everything in the movie order so it'll connect, it's almost like when you get your comic books. Remember OG? Because you in the heart of the comic book. You remember how at one point it was this big comic coming out, and then you got these side stories. You know what I'm saying? So I look at the side stories as the TV shows. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's exactly what they are.
Huh?
That's exactly what they are.
You know what I'm saying? Because we wouldn't have found out what happened to Hulk in a movie, but we find out, just like with Scarlet Witch, when the Infinity War was over and Vision was dead and all that, we wondering what's next. Then the show come out, which would be in the comic book store, the side book, because they came out with Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Then when they got done with the 7 books, we went to Noel, I think, and then what we go to after that, OG? Noel? Was it the Noel stuff?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, Noel is you talking about the symbiote god?
Yeah, when Vision and Scarlet Witch comic was over, what storyline did we go to just in the comics? Was it Loki? Shout out Fresno Nerds.
In the comics, I'm not sure. Once
I think it did go into Loki.
Story was over. Because
Say it again.
They had a couple of minutes there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And just like Loki. Okay. And just like Loki, there'll be another side issues, you know what I'm saying? Because when Thor broke down, we wondering where Loki is. Then here we go with all these issues of Loki in his world. You know what I'm saying? Then we see Kane coming. These gonna be the big books. And then side stories, you know what I'm saying? So, but what's your observation on that, man?
As far as what?
Just what I was saying. You agree with it a little bit,
Oh, yeah, no,
like
absolutely.
what it looked
It's
like.
like how there was a little mini series called Vote Loki, and it was Loki running for president. Okay, it's just a little mini series. Okay, and that's why the shows are exactly that. They're exactly the mini runs, the 6 issue to 12 issues. That's what the shows are. The movies are the main story, the main continuity that goes through. You know, it's exactly how you said it, Cookz. Like exactly, bro. Like some of the shows I like more than others, but that's the same thing with books. Some of the books I like more than others as well. You know what I mean? But and see, and that's the thing too, though. Like with certain, I'll use Punisher's show as the example on Netflix. Right, it's the first Punisher show. I really liked it a lot. Okay, I liked that, and I liked Daredevil a lot. And I would rather have had 8 to 12 hours of Daredevil than just 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's because it was characters I happen to like, and those shows were done really, really well with a really, really great budget and everything. They didn't look all made for TV and all chintzy or nothing like that at all, man. Like as far like it's like how DC did Stargirl. Okay, Stargirl is awesome. It looks fantastic. You know what I mean? To me, I started getting that vibe with DC shows with Black Lightning. Because how they made his costume was awesome. It didn't look cheesy or nothing. Not knocking the Flash either. But you know what I mean? Just production-wise. Like you could tell they stepped up their shows as well. Because, I mean, at the time, DC's movies weren't really doing it. And I mean... Joss Whedon, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just shit like that. And it's no fault to the actors or anything like that. They just didn't have the right person behind the project at the time, whatever. And people would knock their movies because Marvel movies were so amazing. But DC always killed it as far as animation. Their animated movies made Marvel movies always look like they were made for kids. Okay? And it was just a weird way they did it, a weird formula or whatever. When it came to TV shows, like Marvel really did that. I think they did that on purpose, Cookz, and I think that they realized, okay, WandaVision, okay, in comic wise, there was a book, Vision and his family, right? But he had a kid, like when he had Viv and all that, it was kind of creepy, but it was a good series. It was real popular, and I figure it's like how you said with Hulk about saying that stuff in the beginning. With WandaVision, that tied a lot of stuff together, man. A lot. And shows are there as far as being side stories to introduce little things, whether it be the Agents of Atlas or Monica Rambeau or whatever. The shows, that's why I like the shows, because it's just like longer story chunk. It's longer than as much as I like movies. As long as it's done really good, because like I said, I don't love every show. Some of the shows, whatever. But
so, I want to ask a question because I'm looking at Chef and Fresno and them talking in the chat, and I know Chef personally, and I know, what I'm saying, like when it comes to get like the comments and stuff, he don't really deal too much, but he want to. But like he explaining some of his love for some of the movies and some of the stuff that he didn't understand. So, like, that is something that me and Spade and me and you talk about a lot, about the ones who don't know the comics. Spade said this yesterday. The ones who don't read it enjoy the movies more.
Yeah, I understand that, bro, because, and you both will understand this as well, like, for the people that really aren't into the comics, but you guys love the movies, and then you think, oh, man, I really, Endgame was dope. Man, I want to read that story, and like, man, and you go to the comic book shop and you ask them for that comic doesn't exist.
Right.
There is no it's not. The comics to the movies are source material, and a lot of times it's to no fault, like I said, of the director, studio, or anybody. It's just like, example, Infinity War. At the time they made the movie, Marvel still didn't own mutants. Okay, Fox did. When you go back and read Infinity, when you actually read that, when you read like Civil War and stuff, like mutants are all over that book. It starts with what's it, the fire guy, right? He blows up in that house, or you know what I'm saying? Like, these mutants are out trying to do good, but it goes haywire, and like none of that could have been in the movie. That's why they never even mentioned the word mutant in Marvel movies up until recent, because they didn't own the property. So when people see the movies, which are great, and I loved the movie, don't get me wrong, I one of my favorite movies of all time, Infinity War, loved it, Endgame, loved it, you know. But they're, like I said, they just use the comics for source material, and they use what they're able to use legally. Like with the Venom movie, I like that movie for what it was, because they used the characters they own. A lot of people that might not have liked the Venom movie, because, they didn't even have this, they didn't show Peter Parker. Well, because they didn't own the character. They couldn't do that at the time. You know, like they do the best they can with what they have, so to speak. And you can't really knock them for that. I mean, unless it's just like a lousy script and bad acting, and it's like, garbage. You know, I mean, just in general, that's...
Is it fair to say, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going off of a conversation me and Spade had. Is it fair to say that movies that we enjoyed years back, it ain't really fair to judge them to the movies that we watching now? Because tech and CG and blase was just so different. Storyline wise and the writers, maybe it could have been better, but you know.
This is the thing, you guys, because I know you guys aren't Star Wars guys. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I love Star Wars, right? When I go back and I watch the original movies, Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi, okay, I prefer people in costumes, people dressed as robots, people puppeteering Jabba. I prefer that over CGI, bro. That's just me, though. I mean, because I like to know that the little alien band, Max Rebo and all that, I like to know that it's rich, tangible. You could have went up and touched them. Yeah. When it's CGI, to me, that kind of takes away from it. Like, no matter how good the CGI is, and I'm not talking about spaceships flying in space. I'd rather see CGI spaceships than strings, okay, like straight up. But I'm talking about like stuff like that, like when they impose like, okay, that's what ruined the fucking Green Lantern movie, the suit, because it was all CGI, right? You know what I mean? Like that damaged that movie. If you go back and watch that movie now, it's not a bad movie. It's not. He acts like how you think Hal would act, and I mean, it's a good movie. The story, it was well written, but people just, the CGI killed it, you know. And I mean, it all depends though, bro, because there's tacky movies I like from back then that they come on now, and I'm like, I used to like this shit. I'm gonna change it. You know what I mean? Like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean?
The one thing that, like you were talking about, you going back to the Infinity War, and you know as well as I do, because I'm sure you read that series, you know, when we were young. It is totally different from the movie Infinity War. The only thing it has in common is Thanos, basically. But it is a totally different read from what you watch in the movie, and that's the thing that, like. That's the thing too. Hey,
I was gonna say that's the thing, bro. People that watch these movies and love Thanos, go back and read the story, man. Yeah. He wiped out half the universe for death. He didn't do it for the sake of humanity, to say because of all this consciousness of we're gonna kill ourselves. He did it to prove his love for Lady Death. Or the lady.
Excuse me, one moment. But y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go get that book so people can see. I'll be right back.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rev, No, Chef, and Sultan in the chat. You know what I'm saying? They've been talking real good. I've been looking at y'all conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Fresno nerds, man. Hey, I'm from
Oh,
Reedley, Fresno nerds. But
respect.
yeah,
Shout out to respect, baby. You know what I'm
like
saying?
the story in that is real different. The reason, like in the comics, there's a lady that's like the Grim Reaper. She's dead. Thanos is in love with her. That right there. And to prove his love for her, he wipes out half of existence. Like, damn.
Yes. That's the real right there. I got that book too, y'all. That's the real right there.
That's exactly what OG is talking about.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
you got the music, because you got Wolverine right here. So you have so many different. That's what I was saying. If OG, like Cookz and I were talking yesterday, somebody that might dig the movie, and then if they dig them so much, like they probably like, yo, I want to go see, I want to read where this comes from. They might be a little bit confused because I'm like, all right, this ain't what I saw on the screen. And it's like, no, because, you know, like, don't, then I always say, don't stray away too far from the source material.
You know what's dope though is, and it's like a smaller percentage, bro. It's the percentage that knows about certain characters, like off screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they go to read the source material, like, Wolverine is in this? What? Oh, dude, you know what I mean? Like, this is so much better. Like, and I mean, that's awesome when that happens as well. You know, when they just like, oh my God, the book is amazing. There's way more people in it.
You know what I mean? Hey, yo, I see Chef in there asking all them questions. Shout out to Fresno and they're throwing and giving them the actual factuals. You know what I'm saying? Letting them know, you know, who and who's what. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's good looking out, man. Because Chef been showing his interest lately. You know what I'm saying? He a big dog hair collector, but he definitely, you know what I'm saying, has been showing his interest towards the comic world. And I definitely would love to get him caught up, you know what I'm saying, on things. Because it's a fun watch once you learn where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It get fun then. Fresno said 559 in the building. OG.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? West side in the house. You know what I mean? So, that was a good talk right there, y'all. I'm definitely, I like to have talks like that right there. You know what I mean? Because, it helped understanding. For those who did see She-Hulk, what was your reactions about the show? How did you feel about it?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and it's you know, again, like the previous topic, subtle things that they changed. Like OG, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Jennifer got her Hulk powers in the comics, she was shot, right? Like Bruce had to give her a blood transfusion.
Yeah, he had to. Yeah. She was all messed up, and he had to give her his blood. That's
and so it happened differently in the show because like they were in an automobile accident. It was like his blood stood over into hers, and she became She-Hulk, and I was kind of like, okay, you know, but as far as for the overall, I hadn't watched the second episode yet, but I did like the first one. I was really entertained by it, especially the interaction with Bruce and Jen, because they seemed more like siblings than cousins, and you know, Bruce was pissing her off so much, and she was just like, "So my anger better than you," and it's like, you know, just a dude, like that dynamic right there kind of had me laughing. But I enjoyed the first episode, so probably when we get off of here, I'm gonna watch the second one, and you know, get caught up on things. But as far as for the first one, I really liked it.
Okay. I did too. I was really entertained. I enjoyed seeing you know, the transformation. The acting skills were on point for me. And then once I looked the girl up that was playing She-Hulk, I noticed that she been in some, she well qualified for that role. You know what I'm saying? Like she can act. Like she can act. I heard that she was part of a series where she had to play a different actor, that had to play a different character, like, you know, scene for scene, or like series for episode for episode or something like that. So I was like, yo, she sounded like she was well qualified. And you know, it answered stuff for me, gave me certain little answers that I was satisfied with, like, okay, all right, Fresno. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely enjoyed it, and can't wait to see, you know what I'm saying, what's next. OG, you say you ain't seen it yet, right?
No,
All right,
I
what
haven't
about
seen the show, but anyone else who has not seen it, and if you have this misgiving that, well, it looks kind of silly, why is it supposed to be a sitcom? Her original comic run is funny. Okay,
Yeah.
so don't think that she's like some savage ass character in the books and they made her silly. That's not the case. Her comics have action, but they're always lighthearted and they're funny.
And for anybody else who doesn't know, She-Hulk broke the fourth wall before Deadpool.
Yes.
Sensational She-Hulk is a great run. Like OG, like you were saying, it was funny. It was, humorous, and it was just that's what it was meant for. She had when she first debuted, she had a Savage She-Hulk run where she was more like Bruce or more like the Hulk. And then, when different creators took over, they were like, yo, man, let's do this way. So they made her the Amalgam like we know and love her today. And like I said, she broke the fourth wall. So you see that in the show, and like a lot of people like, oh, man, she's copying Deadpool. Learn your comic history. She did it before Deadpool even came out.
you know what I'm saying? So, a couple of questions I wanted to catch because I don't want you to think that I didn't see them because I'll be looking. That's why I like it when we do our teamwork thing. Something, yes, we are on every Friday, and if we aren't on a Friday, we'll move it to the next day because of work schedules. But normally we will be on every Friday. As far as the hip hop, yes, we do, but it's on the other shows that's on this channel. Because you already know Fullblast. Fresno was telling you Fullblast, he on the 1 and 2s pretty much Sunday to Monday every day, 365. You know what I'm saying? Like he got new shows, Twitch. You can find him on any. Well, you already know. Everybody know. What ones that don't know, Chef and Brims, you can find Fullblast on any platform. But you in the right place now, so make sure you hit that button to get the updates, so we can all be in the chat room together. We do shows together. OG has always been a part, you know what I'm saying? So he came aboard today because he knows comics, he knows wrestling. And this is the wrestling and comics part of the show because, you know what I'm saying? Full Blast also is into that too. But, like Fresno, he do so much other stuff that it's hard for him to be everywhere. So he gave us the platform to do our thing because usually we get down on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And y'all already know at always Cookz24, at Spadeonomics Comics, at OG Lee. OG, what's your ad? Because I always say whenever I just type in at OG and it come up, but what's your actual?
It's OG OG_green_lantern.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? OG
Green
Green Lantern. You know what I'm saying? And when we come together, you know what I mean? We still got two or three counterparts that, you know what I'm saying, they do their own thing in other parts. But when we come together full force like Voltron and them, we are the comic dudes. You know what I'm saying? So hashtag comic dudes all day long. Other than that, Chef and Brims had this question right here. Explain this to him, break the fourth wall.
I just put it in the chat for him.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, Chef and Brims, what it is like, imagine having the four walls of your room like this, and you're talking to an audience. Just say like one of the walls here is like a TV screen, like we are now. So this is us breaking the fourth wall to everybody, even though we know y'all are there. Don't get me wrong, that's what we're talking about, breaking the fourth wall. So imagine that you're talking to somebody, like you're sitting in your room and you're talking to somebody out. That would be breaking the fourth wall. So that's what it is in the comic book realm. That's what they call breaking the fourth wall.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Woo! This has been a great episode today.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Made me want to sit down. Made me want to sit down. You know what I mean? I love a good episode. God, make me want to sit down. You know what I mean? I told you I'm gonna say that. I always say that. I want to. We've been on for almost 2 hours, so I want to go ahead and let everybody get back to their normal day schedules. I want to thank everyone who was able to tune in today. You know what I mean? And the ones that's hanging with us now, y'all have some great comments. Y'all have some great answers. Y'all have some great opinions. Y'all have some great facts. Thank y'all for tuning in. We always love and respect it. And we want y'all to join in with us because it makes it more fun when y'all talk with us too. That's just the type of people that we are. You know what I'm saying? OG, man, our brother, thank you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? You will be back. I already know. You know what I'm saying? As long as the schedule permits, you'll come back and, we'll chop up whatever type of topics we have. People in the chat, if y'all have any topics that y'all like to break us down, please leave them in the comments, you know what I'm saying, on the video so we can get the algorithms and the traction going so we can get more people in here so we can really get to talk. And stay, make sure everybody remember the fantasy matchup.
So yeah, like I said, starting next week, man, for all y'all wrestling fans out there, hey, give us some of your fantasy matchups, from anywhere, any era, anywhere, around the world, whatever. And you can even put me in there, some of them if you want to. So, of course, I'm going to pick 10 times out of 10, so yeah.
Yeah, I can see a Spade versus Shelton Benjamin. I can see a Spade versus Shelton Benjamin. I can see that.
Whoa.
I can see that. I can see that. Ooh. Yeah, you see that. You see that. You know what I'm saying? And before we go,
matchup, man. So I can't wait. You like to y'all, write it down if you have to, and then give us your topics. Your matchup next week, and tell us who you think will win and why. Like, I can't wait to hear this, man. I'm excited, and we're gonna be doing that on the first Friday of each month.
Yeah.
I have a question real quick, Spade.
Yo,
is everyone just doing like a fantasy match, or is it like a one-on-one, a tag, your top 5, your top 3, like?
Whatever. I mean, it's so broad. Like, if you want to do one-on-one, you want to do tag match or triple threat. Like, basically, like, you're gonna book the main event of either Wrestle Kingdom in New Japan or WrestleMania, whatever the biggest matches you can find. That's what you're gonna book, or even the biggest mid-card match. So whatever you can come up with, just like
but
I
it's
told
one
you,
match. That
one match.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll you know what I'm saying, to make it even a little more interesting, with everybody picking one, we could definitely, show after show, go with a tag team, go with a luchador, go with, you know what I'm saying, to lengthen it out, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so many selections, so many decades, you know what I'm saying? And, and what we'll do is whatever sector, so whatever's, like if we in singles, let's say it's 10 people and they all got a match and we got a match. And whoever we pick our winner to be, maybe we can put together a little tournament, you know what I'm saying? Make it fun, you know what I'm saying? Get some votes going, 10 people, what I mean? HBK versus Bret Hart, we got 16 people. The most votes, that's the winner of the match. And we take him to the next winner. Make it fun for everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody going to argue up and down, no, he ain't beating him. No, she ain't beating him. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, but before we go, don't y'all move. We got a word from our sponsors.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Hip Hop Alliance. Hip Hop's first official union. We fighting for rights. Workers' rights, labor rights. Y'all know what it is. Fair wages. Let's hit 'em. Who's really speaking for the artists? Everybody knows the music industry is heartless. Knowledge reigns supreme, not what an artist on a chart is. It's about fair wages and royalties. Let me start this, spark this. It's about cultural self-reliance, corporate defiance. We got this down to a science. It's called the Hip Hop Alliance. We take it back to stop the violence. For 30 years, I've been the culture's guidance. You can't deny this. I clean pupils when they open their eyelids. In a blink, I teach kids to think. That's what I did and do. Reaching and pulling out the culture inside of you with the truth inside of you, no one can lie to you. It's time to unify him, her, you, and I. Do your part to save the art. Don't be a stupid guy. Front, you can try, but it's your time you waste. And we're starting an alliance against corporate exploitation.
Yes.
Right on.
Always support the Hip Hop Alliance. Shout out to Fullblast Radio. Please subscribe, share, comment, like. Help us move the algorithms. OG Green Lantern, our brother. Thank you, man. And I know you're gonna be back. Spadeonomics, my big brother. Once again, we had a great show. Everybody that joined us, thank y'all so much for joining. We will be looking for y'all next week. And please have a safe weekend. Please keep your arms and toes inside of the ride, okay? You know what I'm saying? We want everybody to come back in one piece, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chevron Brims, Fitted Talk, you know what I'm saying? Follow Fitted Talk at Fitted_Talk for the dope interviews on Instagram. I am always Cookz24. Y'all let them know who y'all is so we can be out.
OG Green Lantern.
And I'm Spadeonomics Comics.
Man. And that's what it is, y'all. Hey, I love y'all, man. Y'all my brothers, all right?
Yes, sir. Love you too, bro. Love you, OG.
Most doubt. We're gonna holler back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Full Blast Radio. We out, y'all.